Welcome, dear listeners, to another tale from the heart of Africa, a folk tale that has been passed down from generation to generation. These stories are not just simple tales to pass the time, they are woven into the very fabric of African culture, holding a mirror to the society, reflecting its virtues, its vices, and its varied colors. They are the threads that bind the past to the present, the old to the young, the village elder to the wide-eyed child. In the vast continent of Africa, oral storytelling is a treasured art. As the sun sets and the village gathers around the fire, stories come alive in the darkness, dancing like the flames, illuminating the night with lessons of life. These stories carry deep moral lessons, teaching values that are cherished and upheld by the community. They are the moral compass, guiding the young and reminding the old. Today's story is about a man named Mamad. Mamad was not a king or a warrior. He was not known for his strength or his wealth, but Mamad was known throughout his kingdom for something far more valuable. He was known for his honesty. Every word that came from Mamad's mouth was the truth. He was the man who never lied. His reputation was such that people from far and wide would come to hear his words, to seek his advice, to witness the man who was a living embodiment of truth. But this story is not just about Mamad's honesty. It's about how his honesty was put to the test, how he navigated through a world that often values deceit over truth, and how he held on to his values, even when the world around him didn't. So gather around, as we delve into the life of Mamad, the man who never lied. In a kingdom far away, lived a man named Mamad whose honesty was as clear as the African sky. Mamad was a simple man, living a simple life, but his reputation for truthfulness was anything but ordinary. His everyday life was filled with interactions that were marked by his unwavering honesty. Be it a casual conversation with his neighbor about the weather, or a serious discussion about the village affairs, Mamad's words were always a reflection of the truth. Every morning, he would greet the sunrise with a heart full of sincerity, and every night, he would rest his head on the pillow, knowing he'd spoken nothing but the truth. The villagers admired and respected Mamad, not just for his honesty, but also for the way he upheld his values, even when it wasn't convenient. News of Mamad's truthfulness wasn't confined to his village alone. Like a river flowing out to the sea, tales of his honesty traveled far and wide, reaching the ears of those dwelling in the farthest corners of the kingdom. The stories spread, touching the hearts of many, and eventually, they reached the grand palace of the king. The king, a man of wisdom and curiosity, was intrigued. He had heard tales of honest men before, but Mamad's story was different. There was a certain authenticity to it, a purity that couldn't be ignored. He pondered upon these stories, fascinated by the man whose truthfulness was as constant as the northern star. And so Mamad's reputation of honesty spread like a wild savanna fire throughout the kingdom, reaching from the smallest hut to the grandest palace. His name became synonymous with truth and his actions, a testament to his character. Yet, amidst all this, Mamad remained humble, living his life with the same simplicity and sincerity he always had. Little did Mamad know that his honesty would soon be put to the ultimate test. Curiosity piqued, the king decided to test Mamad's truthfulness. This was the king who ruled over the land with fairness and wisdom, yet he had a mischievous streak that loved a good challenge. And what better challenge than to test the integrity of a man whose reputation was built on his unwavering honesty. The king concocted a plan that was as daring as it was cunning. He decided to send Mamad on a mission that would require him to deceive the queen, his own beloved wife. The message was a false one, a ruse designed to test Mamad's commitment to truth. The king instructed Mamad to tell the queen that the king was dead. Now, imagine the gravity of this task. The king, the pillar of the kingdom, asking Mamad to deliver news of his death, knowing full well it was a fabrication. The king was not just testing Mamad's honesty, but also his loyalty, his courage, and his wisdom. This was a challenge that went beyond the realm of simple truthfulness. It was a test of character, one that could potentially put Mamad's reputation at stake. Remember, Mamad was known far and wide as the man who never lied. His word was his bond, it was his identity, it was what Akanimam Mamad. So, This task presented a profound dilemma. Should he obey the king and lie to the queen, thereby betraying his own principles, or should he stand by his truth, risking the wrath of the king? The king watched Mahmud, his eyes twinkling with anticipation. He was eager to see how Mahmud would react. Would the man who never lied finally break his streak, or would he find a way to uphold his honesty, even in the face of such a daunting task? The king's challenge was set, the stage was ready. All eyes were on Mahmud as he embarked on this perilous mission. How would Mahmud, the man who never lied, navigate this tricky situation? Mahmud, wise as he was honest, knew that the king's request put him in a difficult position. He was faced with a conundrum, a test of his character, his integrity hanging in the balance, but Mahmud was not a man to be easily outwitted, nor was he one to compromise on his principles. His wisdom shone through in the way he handled the situation. He was tasked with delivering a false message to the queen, a message that would imply the king was no more. But Mahmud, he had a different plan, a plan that would uphold his honesty while fulfilling the king's request. He chose his words carefully, every syllable measured, every phrase imbued with purpose. Instead of stating outright that the king was dead, a claim that would have been a lie, he framed his words with a delicate ambiguity. "I saw the king," he said to the queen, "as if he were dead." A clever twist of words, wasn't it? An uncertainty that left room for interpretation and yet carried the essence of the king's message. He didn't lie, he didn't state that the king was dead, he merely described his observations, his personal experience as it were. And so, Mahmud, the honest man who never told a lie, found a way to navigate the king's test, to fulfill his duty without compromising his integrity. He didn't just speak the truth, he spoke his truth, he spoke of what he saw, of what he experienced, never straying from the path of honesty, never uttering a falsehood. In doing so, Mahmud stayed true to his word, only speaking of what he had personally witnessed. He didn't let the king's challenge shake his resolve, didn't let the possibility of displeasing the king sway his commitment to honesty. Mahmud's wisdom, his cleverness, his unwavering honesty, they all shine through in this act, presenting an inspiring example for all of us. Upon hearing Mahmud's words, the queen was distraught, and the news quickly reached the king. The king, who had been waiting for the outcome of his test with bated breath, was taken aback. The palace echoed with the whispers of Mahmud's clever maneuver, and the king found himself at the center of it all. In the grandeur of his throne room, the king sat quietly, his mind swirling with thoughts. He had expected many outcomes, but this was beyond his wildest imagination. Mahmud, the man known for his truth, had once again proven his honesty, but in a manner that the king had not foreseen. Mahmud had not lied, yet he had not revealed the truth either. He had spoken in uncertainties, a language that the king didn't command. An array of emotions washed over the king. Surprise, admiration, and a touch of chagrin colored his thoughts. He had underestimated Mahmud, a simple man with a reputation for honesty. He had thought to outwit him, to trap him in a web of deceit. But Mahmud had deftly sidestepped the trap, using his wisdom as his shield. Slowly, a realization dawned on the king. Mahmud had not just passed his test, he had taught him a lesson. A lesson about honesty, wisdom, and the power of words. The king understood that Mahmud never lied. He only spoke of what he had personally witnessed. His words were his truth, his shield, and his strength. In his quiet throne room, the king sat a little straighter, a new respect for Mahmud blooming in his heart. He had set out to test Mahmud's honesty, but ended up learning a lesson himself. He understood now that the truth was not just about speaking facts. It was about integrity, wisdom, and courage. It was about standing strong in the face of adversity, just like Mahmud had done. The king learned a valuable lesson that day about the power of honesty and wisdom. The king, in his royal splendor, had been humbled by the simple truth of a common man, and that was a lesson he would never forget. As the sun set on the kingdom, the king, queen, and all the people marveled at Mahmud's wisdom and honesty. The tale of Mahmud, a man revered for his truthfulness, unfolded like a beautifully woven tapestry, each thread a testament to his integrity. When the king challenged Mahmud's reputation, he did not falter. Instead, he navigated the intricate maze of the king's test with grace, proving that honesty does not always mean revealing everything, but rather speaking only of what one has personally witnessed. Mahmud's wisdom shone brightly when he was sent on a mission to deceive the queen. Instead of resorting to falsehood, he chose to tread the path of ambiguity, demonstrating that truth can be multifaceted and open to interpretation. He used his words wisely, speaking in uncertainties that held the potential for truth, thus avoiding the deceit the king had anticipated. This tale teaches us the profound moral lessons of honesty and wisdom. It shows us that honesty is not just about speaking the truth, but about being true to oneself and one's values. It's about standing firm in the face of challenges and not compromising on our principles, even when the situation seems to demand it. Furthermore, the story highlights the importance of wisdom in our lives. Wisdom, as exemplified by Mahmud, is the ability to discern the truth and to choose the right course of action. It's about understanding the nuances of life and navigating them with integrity and foresight. Finally, the story underscores the significance of speaking only what one has personally witnessed. In a world where hearsay and rumors can easily spread and cause harm, sticking to what we know firsthand ensures that we contribute to a culture of truth and authenticity. And so, the tale of Mahmud, the man who never lied, continues to be told, reminding us all of the power of truth and wisdom. As we leave the kingdom and Mahmud, we carry with us the lessons learned. There's a profound wisdom woven into this African folktale, a wisdom that transcends time and space. It's the wisdom of honesty, of speaking with integrity, and of the power our words hold. Mahmud, a simple man, was known throughout the kingdom for his honesty. He was a man who valued truth over all else, even when faced with the king's challenge. He did not falter, nor did he sway from his path of truthfulness. His story serves as a reminder to us all that honesty isn't just a virtue, it's a way of life. Let's take a moment to reflect on how this story resonates with us. How many times have we been in situations where falsehood seemed the easier path? It's in these moments that we should remember Mahmud and his unwavering commitment to truth. This tale encourages us to question ourselves, to delve deeper into our own principles. It nudges us to look within and evaluate our own relationship with truth. Are we, like Mahmud, able to stand firm in our honesty even when tested? Or do we falter, swayed by convenience or fear? These are not easy questions to answer, but they are important ones. They help us grow, they help us understand ourselves better, and they help us navigate the world with integrity. So, as we move forward from here, let's carry Mahmud's story with us. Let it serve as a beacon, a reminder of the power of honesty, and the respect it can earn us. Let us strive to embody the spirit of Mahmud in our own lives, to be unwavering in our honesty, to speak only of what we have personally witnessed, and to use our words as tools of truth rather than deception. Thank you for joining us on this journey through an African folktale. Until next time, may your words be as honest as Mahmud's. If you enjoyed this African folktale and want to hear more, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and it helps us bring more such tales to you. We are immensely grateful for the time you've spent with us today, listening to Mahmud's story. The wisdom of these tales is a treasure that we are excited to share with you. If this story resonated with you or if you have any thoughts on it, please feel free to drop a comment below. We love hearing from you. And if you're as fascinated by these tales as we are, make sure you hit the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. This way, you won't miss out on any new tales from the heart of Africa. Until then, keep the spirit of honesty and wisdom alive. Stay tuned for more tales from the heart of Africa. Until then, keep the spirit of honesty and wisdom alive.